Good afternoon. I'm going to call to order the July 13th Parcel Map Review Committee. We'll just go right into the ethics law announcements. Ms. Gustafson.
Certainly.
Sorry, Jen, do you want me to do a quorum call for a quorum?
Please.
No worries. Let's see. Christopher Bronzik.
Here.
James English.
Here.
And we don't have Wayne, but his alternate, Janelle Thomas.
Here.
Dale Wade is not present. And Rob Pierce, also not present. However, with the 3 out of 5 of you present, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Chris, are you ready for me? Ethics law announcement?
I am ready for you, please.
Members are reminded that if with respect to any matter or any person coming before the committee today, number 1, you've received a gift or loan. Number 2, you have a pecuniary interest. Number 3, you have a commitment in a private capacity, such as a family, employment, business, or similar relationship. Or number 4, if you provided representation or counseling before an agency to a person or entity for compensation within the last year on a matter that's being considered here today, please remember to disclose that gift, loan, interest, commitment, or prior representation at the time the matter is being considered. And further, you must abstain from deliberation or voting on the matter if it's clear that the gift, loan, interest, commitment, or prior representation would materially affect the independence of judgment of a reasonable person. Committee members are also reminded that under your bylaws, if you've had any contact outside this meeting with any persons interested in a matter coming before the committee today, you should disclose the nature of that contact at this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3 is the appeal procedure. I'll go ahead and read this. So most decisions rendered by the Parcel Map Review Committee are appealable to the Board of County Commissioners. If you disagree with the decision of the Parcel Map Review Committee and you want to appeal its actions, you may do so in writing within 10 calendar days from the date that the decision being appealed is reduced to writing, filed with the Secretary of the Parcel Map Review Committee, and mailed to the original applicant in the proceeding being appealed in accordance with Washoe County Code. Please call the planning staff immediately at 328-3600 for information on the appeal procedure and application fee. With that, we'll go to item number 4, which is public comment. Madam Secretary, do we have any public comment?
There are no hands raised for public comment.
Thank you. Item 5, this is an action item. This is the approval of the July 13th, 2023 agenda. I assume everybody has had a chance to look at today's agenda, and if so, if you have any comments, please provide them now, and if not, I'd welcome a motion.
I move to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
James English, second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Item number 6 is the approval of the June 15th, 2023 draft minutes. This is another action item. Again, has everybody had a chance to look at the draft minutes for the June meeting? Seeing some nodding heads. If anybody has any comments, please provide them now. Otherwise, I'd welcome a motion.
James English, move to approve the minutes as written.
Janelle Thomas, second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, please say nay. That looks to have passed unanimously. So for number 7, we've got project review items. This is for possible action for item 7A, tentative parcel map case number WTPM 23-0006, Ophir Hill. Before we jump into the public meeting item, Katie. I believe there are potentially some disclosures related to this item. I'll go ahead and start. Jen, so I was the primary planner reviewing the Ophir Hill special use permit, which a good part of that request is to allow for grading to take place to account and accommodate this proposed parcel map review proposal. So I was the primary planner that reviewed it. I provided conditions on behalf of planning, and I did present it to the Board of Adjustment. I don't believe there's a conflict on my part acting in a professional capacity, but I wanted to at least disclose that I was the primary planner on that.
Okay, Chris, so you're saying that you were the primary planner on an item related to this property that's not this item, because apparently Katie is the planner on this item, correct?
Correct. Katie is the primary planner for this item.
And you, do you have any belief that you could not be fair and impartial in rendering a decision on this parcel map request?
I believe I can be fair with any decisions related to this.
Okay, thank you.
And Jen, this is Janelle Thomas. I also was involved at a staff level for the SUP application for this parcel from the engineering perspective, as well as assisting staff in the development of conditions of approval for this particular application. I don't believe that I would have any conflict in making an unbiased decision, but I just wanted to disclose that.
Thank you, Janelle. Appreciate that.
Thank you. With that being said, as mentioned, 7A, tentative parcel map case number WTPM 23-006, Ophir Hill. And we have planner Katie Stark here to present this item for us.
Good afternoon. I'm going to pull up the presentation for you. All right, can everybody see that now?
Yes, you're good.
Excellent. So good afternoon, Katie Stark, Washoe County Planning. The case before you is WTPM 23-0006, Ophir Hill. The request is to take 3 existing parcels, which total 11.35 acres, combine those and divide into 4 new parcels. This image shows the 4 proposed parcels. Parcels A and B are 2.53 acres, parcel C 2.97 acres, and parcel D 3.26 acres. In addition, on parcel D, you can see there is a structure highlighted in yellow that the applicant would like to retain. The parcels are located in the South Valley's planning area outside of the Truckee Meadows service area. The regulatory zone is high density rural, or HDR. The maximum lot potential is 4, and the number of lots on the parcel map is 4. Minimum lot size requirement is 2 acres. Minimum lot size on the parcel map is 2.53 acres. The minimum lot width required is 150 feet, and minimum lot width on the parcel map is 163 feet. So all requirements for the HDR regulatory zone will be met. On the South Valley's development suitability map, this property is largely shown as most suitable for development, with certain portions showing slopes greater than 15%. And the parcels are located in the Washoe Valley hydrographic basin. This image shows the 3 current parcels. You can see there are several structures. There is a house and a shed that the applicant is choosing to remove. And then again, there's that one structure, a metal building, that the applicant would like to retain. So there is code in 110.306.15 that states it is unlawful to construct, erect, or locate an accessory structure, which that metal building would be, on a lot without an existing main structure or use. And so to handle that structure, the applicant's been given a couple of options which are included in the conditions. One is to convert the accessory structure to a main residence prior to recordation of the final map. Another is to build a new residence on that proposed parcel so that the metal building becomes or maintains its status as an accessory structure. And then finally, if neither of those two were chosen, then that metal building would have to be removed prior to the recordation of the final map. So here is a closer image, and this is to discuss setbacks and access easement. In the HDR regulatory zone, the front and rear yard setbacks are 30 feet, and side yard setbacks are 15 feet. And the proposed access and public utility easement here is 35 feet wide and runs along that west portion of proposed parcel D, close to the structure that will remain. Washoe County Code Section 110.406.05 requires that setbacks typically are measured from the property line, but there are exceptions. And one of those exceptions is when an access easement is wider than 20 feet, then the setback has to be measured from the edge of that access easement. I'm going to go back to this previous image. This is an updated image here, and it is included as an exhibit in the staff report. But it was a late ask on my end. The original map that was submitted did not show that 32.6 feet between the access easement and the structure. So one of the conditions of approval is simply to provide a stamped copy of the plans showing that distance. The applicant was kind in supplying an image for me last minute. This is just going to be a very brief background. As mentioned previously by Chris, there is a special use permit that recently went through the Board of Adjustment associated with these same parcels. It was WSUP 22-0027, and it was to legalize grading that had occurred on the parcels and to bring them into conformance, bring the site into conformance with the code requirements in Article 438. So that SUP was heard by the Board of Adjustment on the 6th of July, and it was approved with conditions. I wanted to mention that there is a condition of approval included in this parcel map, Exhibit A, that is an engineering condition and requires substantial completion of that grading work prior to recordation of the final map. And the county engineer will determine when that level of grading has been completed. There were also a couple of neighborhood meetings held associated with that grading SUP. This again is just going to be a quick touch here to clarify something in the staff report. On page 6 of the staff report, there was a mention of a 4-month time frame for phase 1 of grading and a 6-month time frame for phase 2 of grading. This was the original request of the applicant for the SUP. When the item came before the Board of Adjustment, per my understanding, the SUP was approved with greater timeframes, with a 6-month timeframe for phase 1, 12 months for phase 2, for a total of 1 year and 6 months. And this was simply to clarify the staff report. The parcels are located in the Washoe Valley Hydrographic Basin. There is a condition in the South Valley's area plan modifiers that is requiring proper water rights. Both Washoe County Water Rights and Nevada Division of Water Resources reviewed the application and provided appropriate conditions to assure that the necessary water rights are acquired and that proof of them is provided. There's also a handful of policies in the South Valleys area plan that apply to this parcel map. And I'm going to just breeze through very quickly. SB.14.1 speaks to the State Historic Preservation Office having an opportunity to review the application, which it was sent to them, no response was received. SB.15.5 is a requirement for parks, Washoe County Parks and Open Space, to have an opportunity to review for potential trail connections. Parks reviewed. They had no conditions related to trail connections, but they did have another condition, which is included in Exhibit A. SB.18.2 is related to complying with air quality requirements. Washoe County Health District Air Quality received this application for review and no response was received. SV.20.1 is a requirement for Nevada Department of Wildlife to have the opportunity to review the tentative map. This was sent to NDOW and reviewed, and they had no conditions. And then these final two, SV.24.4 and SV.24.7, are both related to, again, obtaining appropriate water rights. Application was reviewed by both Washoe County Water Rights and Nevada Division of Water Resources. They've provided conditions related to appropriate water rights, which are included in Exhibit A. A multitude of agencies reviewed the application. Those who provided conditions have their conditions included in Exhibit A. And staff is recommending approval of the parcel map. I am available for questions. I know the applicant was also going to be available this afternoon. And that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Katie. Does staff have any questions for Ms. Stark? So I have at least one question. Katie, so we discussed the structure that currently exists there.
Correct.
Can you just confirm that it does meet the setbacks, the required setbacks as outlined within their proposal?
Yes, indeed. And that was something I didn't stumble upon until the last moment. And so the applicant's engineer was very kind in shooting over an updated map image for me, showing that I believe it was 32.6. It was 32 point something feet between the edge of that access easement and the closest edge of the structure. So I have an image showing that, and then there's a condition of approval included in Exhibit A because he did not have time to get that stamped for me in the short time frame that I needed it prior to the staff report going online. So yes, and it meets the requirement, and we have some assurance, some proof being provided. So
thank you. Does the applicant or the applicant's representative have a presentation or would like to speak on this item?
Thank you, Chris. John Krompata, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. I'm looking at the list of attendees. Bear with me here. I see Ed Thomas, our civil engineer, is present. I don't see the applicant on the string. I know she was planning on attending, and she still may. I do have a presentation. I don't feel compelled to share it unless the parcel map review committee members wish to see it. So I would share with the committee members that we have reviewed the staff report, worked well with Katie, agree to all of the conditions as written, appreciate the correction that was made on the one page, I think it was the bottom of page 6 on the timing related to the SUP. And also note of the structure of which we want to keep on the property. There's going to take a little bit of work to make that happen, but there's been a big investment by the property owner to establish that, and we'll convert it to a primary residence, and then do some other work upon constructing the final larger residence upon construction of the parcel map, following construction of the parcel map. So I believe I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you have any questions, glad to get engaged. If you want to see the presentation, I'm willing to do that as well. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Jim, Janelle, would you guys like to see a presentation, or do you have comments or questions for the applicant's representative?
I don't have any comments or questions at this time, and don't require a presentation by the applicant.
Now it'd be the same for me, Chris.
Thank you. I think I'm in agreement. Madam Secretary, do we have any public comment associated with this item?
There are no hands raised for public comments.
Thank you. Then with no public comment or no questions for the applicant, I'd welcome a motion. I'll go ahead and make the motion. So I'm making the motion to approve the parcel map as submitted. So I move that after giving reasoned consideration to the information contained within the staff report and the information received during the public meeting, that the Washoe County Parcel Map Review Committee approved parcel map case number WTPM 23-0006 for Burdick Excavating Company, subject to the conditions of approval included as Exhibit A with the staff report, and make the determination that the following criteria is or will be adequately provided for pursuant to Washoe County Code Section 110-606-30E. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Janelle Thomas.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Hearing none, that passes unanimously with the members present. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, thank you, John. Item 8, reports and future agenda items. Do we have any future agenda items from any of the committee members?
None for me.
Ms. Gustafson, do we have any legal information or updates?
Nothing from me today. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 9 is public comment. Madam Secretary, do we have any public comment?
There are no hands raised for public comment.
Thank you. With that, I think we are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.